Save the Children is halfway through a 2-year process to redesign how we understand and communicate the impact of our influencing work. Why are we doing this? 3 reasons. 1. Change takes time. Change addressing some of our biggest issues can take a lot of time. For example, Save the Children's founder, Eglantine Jebb, first conceptualized a children's charter in 1923. It was adopted by the League of Nations in 1924 as the Geneva Declaration of the Rights of the Child. It became the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child in 1989. That's 66 years from conception to birth. 2. Change is complex and non-linear. Intended outcomes often don't occur within the scope of a strategic period. That can wreak havoc with reporting, which is aligned to a specific timeline. 3. Successfully tackling complex issues usually means working in partnership with others. This is great for outcomes, but it makes it difficult to directly attribute policy change and shifts in public attitude to the efforts of any one organization. Taken together, these issues present a real challenge when it comes to reporting impact. So we decided to design a process that would help us to better understand and share early momentum and intermediate wins for our campaign objectives. We believe that this will help us draw lines of contribution from activities to external changes, ultimately helping us to more accurately report and share our impact. Here's the story of our pilot for this process. Our 2016 impact report for the global campaign Every Last Child. Starting out, we had 2 key criteria. The impact reporting process had to enable real-time learning and analysis, and also ensure we were and are really honest about our contribution to change. First, we set boundaries. We focused on things within our control, such as advocacy tactics, activities, and so on. We looked for links as to how these influence policy, behavior change, and changes in relationships, attitudes, and agendas. This helped us develop clear strategies, knowing who to influence, when, and with which tactics, pegged to external events and opportunities. Next, we made it practical. We reorganized and fine-tuned existing reporting structures, building more tools to identify interim outcomes and deliverables so that we know if we are achieving key steps to change. We created menus of indicators and questions to guide learning. We piloted this process with staff and refined it based on their feedback. We aim to make it easy to participate, inviting colleagues to crowdsource information through online maps, using blogs and social media, and incorporating anecdotes and other information. This simplified how campaigners feed in information. To analyze the data, we recorded our interim wins under core areas of change. These include things like access to decision makers, contribution to policy solutions, alignment with partners, involvement in policy implementation, and so on. This enabled us to gauge progress, assess whether we were going in the right direction, and make necessary mid-course corrections. Major campaigning wins were ranked against both impact and contribution, mapping for the first time evidence of Save the Children's role in change, both big and small. This approach has provided new insight into the context of our wins, from the changing nature of civic space to our role with partners. It also allowed us to develop richer impact stories and regional overviews. The result was our 2016 Every Last Child Impact Report. That brings us pretty much up to date. Future impact reports will include more information on failures and our related learning. We'll also include more and better ways to represent the role of partners who sometimes lead processes to which we simply contribute. In fact, we'll be developing a research agenda around this. We will also make our approach and methods open source so that everyone who wishes can see and use them. That's where we are heading. But we know there's a lot more we need to consider. We'll be reaching out to peers and partners, asking them to critically assess our process and suggest changes. In fact, we're reaching out to you right now. What do you think? Email us at measuringimpact@savethechildren.org to share your ideas and questions.